Good morning, Rise Builders. It is Monday, May 19th. Monday, May 19th. And it's a marvelous Monday. That's right, it is a marvelous Monday. So, for those who are up, come on in and talk to me. Talk to me. Come on in and let's just get all caught up, and I want to hear about what's been going on with you. I've been MIA for a minute. I've been on vacation, a much needed vacation. Yeah, I've been on vacation and I'm glad to be back. Glad to be back. And I still have another week off. So, yeah, I took 2 weeks. That's my new thing. I'm like, I'm going to start taking 2 weeks of time off. So, yeah. So that's my new thing. I think this is like what my third year doing 2 weeks in a row. I typically would just do a week here and then, some days here and there, whatever. But yeah, really, one of my girlfriends, she encouraged me to do it. She started doing it and she was like, Dee, we've been working so many years. We need to start, really utilizing our times as we should. So it didn't take a lot for her to encourage me to do it. So yeah, so just taking some time out for myself, hang out with my hubby, and we got away. We took a 8-day cruise on the Mardi Gras. So we went and visited different areas. We did Grand Turk, Amber Cove, San Juan, Puerto Rico, St. Thomas. So just got away and really enjoyed ourselves. So yeah, just needed that downtime. And if you guys can do it, please take some time for yourself. Some time for yourself and just get away. Get away and take some time for yourself. So yeah. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Yeah, I was happy for myself as well. So, yeah, we just work, work, work. And I think we forget to play. Sometimes we get so caught up in working all the time. We need to put that same energy into getting away, being around different people, seeing some different things, and yeah. What about you? Do you get away and do some things for yourself? What about you? What kind? Do you take vacations? Do you take time away? Do you do staycations? Even staycations are good. You know, take a couple of days and just stay home and enjoy when you pay mortgage, enjoy when you pay rent. Sometimes again, we're so in the hustle and bustle of work and taking care of other people that we just forget about ourselves. Yeah, so the title is It's a Marvelous Monday, and it is a marvelous Monday. We're going to proclaim that today. We're going to declare today is going to be marvelous. It's going to be amazing. We're going to set our sights to have a good day today, this week, this entire week. But yeah, I was just talking a little bit about the fact that I've been gone for a week. I took an 8-day cruise and just got away. And just, me and my hubby just enjoyed each other, enjoyed being around beautiful people, visiting outside of the country. Had never been to St. Thomas before, had never been to San Juan, Puerto Rico. It was amazing to see the different cultures and how other people live and some of the things we take for granted. I believe when we took a tour when we was in St. Thomas, and I believe I saw about 3 traffic lights. And the roads are so, small. It was like going on a roller coaster. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Space Mountain before at Disney World, and it's just jet dark, and you get on this ride and it loops you through all of this stuff. Well, it was the same experience, but during the daytime. Okay. I couldn't drive there. I guess if I had to, but I wouldn't want to. Because like I said, the streets are so narrow and everything sits up so high. So yeah, it was quite the experience. It was quite the experience. So how are you guys doing? How has your week been? How was your week last week? Did you have a good week? Was did you have a good week? Absolutely. Jesus Christ is God. Absolutely. And we declare that today, every day, and the days moving forward, he actually is. I'm glad you brought that up because I was sitting on the balcony during um my vacation, and I took this devotion book with me. I took this devotion book with me, Evangelism. It's a 40-day. Um, and I was reading what made me read. Well, let me back up. I was sitting on the balcony, and there was this family there, and I think it was a mother. I think maybe she had like four or five, maybe four kids. I would always see the two little boys. They would always come out early in the mornings, like I would. They would come out and sit on the balcony. You know how kids just being kids. Kids are just being kids. Well, they would do little naughty things and she would get on them, but then she would use a certain type of language. And I was like, ugh, I don't like to hear that kind of language, especially with children, So I'm gonna be honest, I started kind of like judging her, and I'm like, ugh, you know, I don't like to judge people, but at the same time, I don't like to hear kids being spoken to in a certain type of a certain type of way. And kids will be kids. Kids are gonna cut up and be kids. But as I was listening to her, and this went on for a couple of days. It just wasn't her first time doing it. This went on for a couple of days. Um and I was just, like I said, I was trying not to be judgy, listening to her go on and on. And then I came across this. It was weird. I came across this as I was reading through the little devotion here. And it says that if it seems like, and this is talking about judging others in love, especially when you're talking about unbelievers. And it says, if this seems like you are judging them, even in even if just in your mind you are. You are his ambassador, meaning God. So you must learn to judge who needs his love. You are not judging to condemn, you are judging to deliver love. If your judgment leads to condemnation in your mind, ask God to change your heart toward them so you can see them as someone who has no knowledge that a loving, gracious king exists, meaning God. And so, as I heard her use those words, it's not like I was judging her in condemnation, but I was like, oh, I wish she knew there was another way for her to speak to her children. I wish it was, and I don't know her story. Maybe she was spoken to that way as she grew up and she just carried it along. And, sometimes we do that. Our environments will impact us, but that's not an excuse. We can't use the way we grew up to handle certain situations because children are a gift. It's so many people wish they could have children. And so to hear her speak that way to them, it kind of like made me a little, intense on the inside. But I know she loves them because, she had them on a vacation. And I heard her tell them, this isn't your first vacation. This isn't your first cruise. So for her to pack them up and get them all on a trip, she just probably doesn't know how to properly communicate. She just doesn't. And probably if she was to hear herself, she probably would be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm talking to my kids like that. But yeah, I didn't want to have that judgy mentality. So I just thought it was so perfect that this came up, that I was reading this as I was thinking about that situation. So yeah, I'm from the United States. I'm here in the United States. Yes. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I hope your day is going well. And you see the title, Miracle Monday. Marvelous Monday, Marvelous Monday. Yes, Marvelous Monday and Miracle Monday. Hey, I like that too. We can have miracles on Mondays too. We can have miracles all throughout the week, not just on Mondays. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of kick in and talk to you guys because, like I said, I had been away for a couple of days, several days, as a matter of fact. So just getting on here chit chatting, seeing how everybody is doing. You know what? The crazy thing is, while I was on vacation, I'm typically an early person. I get up 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock is it's 5:05 here where I'm at. But I noticed I was able to lay in bed on some days past 8 o'clock. And I was like, oh, that's a first for me. That is a first for me because I am such an early bird. So that just goes to show that, when you're in a relaxed setting, your body it'll just relax. It'll do what it needs to do. Now, this morning, I couldn't sleep. I looked at the clock, it was 3 o'clock. So it's like my body is, I don't know if my body's like, okay, she's back home. It's time for her to rise and shine. So I'm back up, boom, boom. But while I was on vacation, I just stayed in and I slept and I got some rest. My husband, he went to breakfast quite a few times without me because I was like, no, I'm just going to sit back and hang out in the room. I sat out on the balcony and just looked out at the water and just relax my mind and just had some deep thoughts. So, yeah. So, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. I hope your day is going well. I hope your day is going well. Um, so how have you guys been? So, do you guys vacation? That's another thing. Do you get away? Do you relax? How do you relax? What do you do? And it doesn't always have to be around, spending anything lavish or anything like that. Like I said, a staycation, something just to wind down. How do you wind down? How do you relax? Maybe you take a day and go have a massage. Maybe you go take a nice walk. I was out walking yesterday. What do you do to refresh yourself, to reset yourself so you can have a marvelous day, a marvelous week? What do you guys do? Just want to hear from you guys. What do you do? What do you guys do for that kind of thing? What happens with you guys with that? I'm just interested in hearing from you guys. David, what do you do? Anything in particular? Anything in particular you do? What would you do? Billy, what about you? Anything to reset the mind, the brain, to kind of, relax yourself, get yourself going, get yourself in the easy mode, you know? I see a lot of you guys out here. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I know it's early, but it might be a different time where you're at. So thank you for tapping in and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Exactly. So, yeah. Tell me what you guys do. What do you guys do? How do you relax? Yeah. I don't want to just dominate the conversation. Let's talk. Let's talk. I'd love to hear from you. Yeah. I'm excited to be off this additional week. Sometimes you need a vacation from the vacation. So yeah, I'm excited to have an additional week off. So there's a lot of things I need to get done around the house. I have some business things I need to follow up on. So I have a lot of things going on that I need to tend to, but I wanted to get on here and just kind of chit chat with everyone and see what everyone's been up to, and if there's anything I missed out on, anybody want to tell me anything fascinating that happened. Yeah, I would love to hear from you guys. You know what? I'm reading. I still have my devotional book open, and here it says, "Forgiveness is not optional." I like that. Forgiveness is not optional. And whenever you stand praying, forgive. If you have anything against anyone, so that your Father also who is in heaven may forgive you of your trespasses. Yeah, I love that. Forgiveness is not optional. Sometimes we can walk around so disgruntled, so angry, so upset with people for what they have done to us. And sometimes people really have hurt us. But we have to remember we got to forgive. We got to forgive and we got to move on. No need of walking around with all that turmoil on the inside of you, all that pain, all that hatred that you've allowed to build up because someone has wronged you. We got to learn how to turn that thing away. We have to learn how to give it to God and just push forward and move on. Because you know what? The forgiveness is really for you. It's not so much for the other person. You do need to forgive that person, but you have to release that out of you. You got to let that stuff go. You cannot allow that poison to build up in you. And that's exactly what it is. It's poison. It becomes venom. And as you start speaking, you start spewing it out on people, even the people who don't deserve it. So we have to be so careful that we don't walk around with unforgiveness in our hearts, and that we can just relinquish that and just surrender it over to God and just let it go. And, I thought about a lot of things while I was, on vacation and just sitting in front of nature and just seeing how God created the heavens and the earth. And it just really made me think about a lot of different things in my life, and some things where I want to see change, and um, some things that I know that I need to take care of. So I know I have some opportunities for growth in my own life. What about you guys? Do you guys feel that you have areas of opportunities that you need to grow in, that you need to develop, that you need to work on? Yeah. So I think we all know that we're not perfect, and we all have room for opportunities. One of the things is that I want to learn how to be a better listener and make sure I'm hearing what the other person is trying to convey to me. I need to learn. My nephew's told me this before. He was like, "Hold up, Auntie. Allow me to speak before you say something." And sometimes we can get into a routine of speaking before the other person has finished their sentence or their conversation. We're always wanting to comment. I need to learn to be a better listener. I need to hear the entire thing, the entire conversation before I come back with a response. What about you guys? What do you think about that? Learning to be better listeners. Learning to be better listeners. So, yeah, a lot of times we want to be heard. We want people to hear us, but are we listening? Are we listening? Are we actively listening? And sometimes it's good to repeat what the person said. You know, I heard you say X, Y, and Z. I know I do that a lot of times at work, especially, I'm working on projects, that type of thing. I will repeat what I thought I heard just to make sure I'm on the same path as the others in the room. So, you know, being a better active listener, making sure we're not walking around in unforgiveness, holding those grudges, things like that. So, it's going to be important. It's going to be really important. So, yeah, it'll be really important. Um, so I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? What's going on? I'm listening. I am listening. I am listening. I am listening. What do you guys have to say? What do you It's Monday. What's the plans for the week? Are you guys preparing for work? Are you getting out ready for work? Are you preparing for work? Are some of you guys getting off from work? Are some of you preparing for vacation? Are some of you just got things that you have to do around the home in the city? What's the plans for the week? Anything outstanding? Anything that you know is really crucial that you need to do? Are you guys YouTubers? Are you content creators as well? Are you? Yay? No? No? I just like to kind of come in and chat, hear what's going on in the chats. Yeah, I was like that for so long. I just started creating content in October of last year. I've been on YouTube, I want to say since 2011. I think 2011, January 2011, and I just started creating content back in October. So it's different. It's different, and to be monetized, you got to put in a lot of work, a lot of effort. It's just not going to happen overnight. So um, it'll happen when it happens. So I'm doing my best on my end that I can, um, taking it one day at a time, not allowing myself to get overwhelmed by the process. Um, I added some content last night from my vacation, and I got some of these copyrights that came up, but they were saying that those strikes were not against me. It was okay to publish. And then I got one that said partial copyright, that it would not be viewed in certain countries. I think it was like two countries, but all the rest, they were saying that it would be viewed. And it was like a little message saying that if you're monetized, that it might do something else. I got to read up on that. And I was like, I don't know if I want to publish this. So right now I got them all out there under private. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that content. There's just so much to learn about YouTube. I need to go to a YouTube class, okay? I need to be in a YouTube class. So, yeah, a lot to learn about YouTube. It's a great tool, but you have to be within the necessary, um, you have to follow the necessary guidelines and make sure you're in proper standards. And I was up this morning looking at some content creators, and one person had something where someone had stolen her content, and I mean, he duplicated everything to the T. So she was filing a dispute against that individual. Someone told her about it. So I was like, wow, I didn't know that people do that kind of stuff. But there's a lot going on. There is a lot going on. So, but yeah, guys, it's a marvelous Monday, and I hope your day is gonna supersede your expectations. It's going to supersede your expectations, and you know that we have a God that loves us. He's always available to us. He will never leave us or forsake us. So anything you that may come across your path that is challenging to for you today, just remember you can give it to him. You definitely can give it to him, and he will work it out in his time. In his time, not your time, in his time. He will definitely work it out for you. Um, so just keep that close to your heart today as you walk through today, because we never know what may come our way. Just remember, you can't control what people say or what people do. You can only control yourself. So just have that awareness and be careful how you respond. Be careful how you respond. Don't allow anyone to bring you outside of um, the box. Don't let someone take you outside of yourself. Whoever you are, just remain in peace. Remain to be the good person you are. Don't allow people to frustrate you or irritate you to the point that you say ugly things to them or do something ugly to them. Just compose yourself. Remember, you cannot change people. You can only change yourself. So don't be so concerned about other people's actions and what they do to you. Now, I'm not saying to allow them to walk over you, but sometimes we have to have enough courage in us to walk away. We have to be the ones to do the walking away. We have to walk away. We don't always want to do that because we want people to know, oh, I'm not going to allow you to talk to me that kind of way or do me any kind of way. And you want to get back into that. You want to get into an argumentative um, consultation, not consultation, argumentative state with them. Just walk away. Just walk away. Sometimes it's just easier to walk away, and I know sometimes it can be very challenging because you don't want people to just walk all over you. But sometimes the easier route is just to say, you know what, you can have this. You win. You got it. And sometimes no response is the best response. No response is the best response. And a lot of times that's just going to protect your peace. And we have to protect our peace at all costs. It's so crucial just to protect your peace. And people are going to think what they want to think. They're going to say what they want to say. And yeah, yeah. And we got to learn how to go higher, higher, higher. We got to be like the eagles. We got to soar. We got to go way, way above that. We got to learn how to go way, way above that. And I mean, I've had my challenges where I had to button up this mouth and keep this tongue in check because when you start getting on that same level as someone else, when they're talking all crazy and negative, guess what? You're doing the same thing. So, two crazy people talking at each other. No, I want to be the wise one. I'm just going to walk away. That's what I hope to do in most cases. Just walk away. Just D keep your keep your composure. Just it's not worth it. It's not worth it. He's not worth it. She's not worth it. Let them say what they want to say. Let them do what they want to do. Just walk away because you know you. You know you. That person does not know you. And we have to remember, we don't have anything to prove to anyone. We do not have anything to prove to anyone other than God. God is our source. He is our keeper. We want to be in good standards. We want to show good characters. But sometimes when people try to, what they say, poke the bear, you have to just let them have it. Give them the win. Give them the win. So you can keep your peace and you can have a marvelous day. Yeah, that's what you have to do. That's what we all must do. And like I said, it's not so easy at times. Sometimes you come back with some striking words. You know, we're human. We're in the flesh. We operate in the flesh. But a lot of times you already see or you can feel it simmering. You can tell when a conversation is about to go left. You can tell when that conversation is about to go left. So when you start getting that feeling, why not exit? Why not just say, okay, I'll talk to you later. Have a good day. Or just say, hey, I got to go. I got an appointment coming up. You know how to get out of it. God will give you a way of escape. He will give you a way to escape. I can attest to that. My goodness. I can attest to that. But you know what? That flesh wants to rise up and it wants to show people, oh no, I'm not gonna let you talk to me any kind of way. I'm not gonna allow you to come in to, me trying to have a chat and you start trolling and you start saying ugly things in the during a video. So no, you got to be the bigger person. I heard someone say a week or so ago, you have two options with trolls. You can either address them or you can ignore them. You're going to either address them or you're going to ignore them. Most cases I ignore. 97% of the time, I'm just going to ignore the trolls. I'm just going to ignore them because those are attention seekers. Those are attention seekers. They are seeking attention. They are needing something. They want something. They want that attention. They're not getting something at home. They're not getting something in their environment. They are liking something. So they'll come over to your channel and they'll try to start up some crazy stuff. So you either going to address them or you're going to ignore them. But if you address them, don't allow them to get you out of your character. Don't come out of your character. So, yeah. So, yeah, guys, I am hoping and praying that you have a marvelous Monday. You will have a marvelous Monday. And I hope your day goes well. Um, I'll be checking back in before the end of the week. And I'm going to go ahead and end this live. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out with me. All the comments, all the thumbs up. If you like, subscribe. Come by and check out some of my content. Come by. If you feel like you need an encouraging word, come by my channel. If you just feel like you're down and out and you just need a little picker upper, you need to hear some good news from the word, come on by my channel. Come on by. And like I said, if you like it over here, subscribe and thumbs up, thumbs up. Okay, guys, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. And until next time, continue to grow and glow in the Lord. Bye.